Good morning, friends and family. This is Ify. I am making this quick video today because I couldn't. My whole plan I had this morning just didn't work out, so I'm just making this video in my trunk. I wanted to go for my 3.4-mile walk that I was supposed to have on Friday for my birthday. My birthday was Friday. I turned 34. So, as I like to do on my birthdays, I like to have an activity. And this year I was supposed to be walking, but it's been raining in Charlotte since Friday. It's still raining today. I woke up super early trying to beat the rain, but it started at 8 and it's still raining right now. So I just decided to make my video anyway and just let you guys know some of the things I wrote down. I wanted to share 5 things I've learned in my 30s, and then also at the end share some immigration law updates for those of you interested in immigration law, especially marriage based green card applications. So I'm going to answer a few questions when it comes to financials. I received some questions this past week about financial requirements and how much one needs to be making in order to qualify as a sponsor on the I-864 and stuff like that. So I'll go into it a little bit, and if you have any questions after watching me, just reach out to me. My information will be in my bio on Instagram or in the description if this is on YouTube. Just anywhere you can find me. My Instagram is at the Marriage Green Card Lawyer. And on YouTube, you can also find me, the Marriage Green Card Lawyer. I focus mainly on marriage-based green card. This means if you are a foreigner and you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you can adjust your status to become a permanent resident as well. So that's my main practice area. I do other things like help people with U.S. citizenship applications. I help people with reviewing immigration forms. I help people respond to the USCIS. If you have an RFE and you don't have a lawyer and you need someone to help you read it and understand what you need to do, I help people with that. I help people also to extend their visas, but mainly my practice is marriage-based green card. Yeah, just focusing on that. Anyway, so if you have any immigration questions, don't forget to reach out to me. Book a consultation. That's quicker to reach me, to make sure you can talk to me for free for 10 to 15 minutes. All right? Anyway, enough of that introduction there. I'm just going to dive into it, what I plan to talk about. 5 things I've learned in my 30s. Now, I learned these over the course of a couple of years. I mean, there are other things I've learned, but I just chose these 5 because I'm still working on them, and it's just things I know are definitely beneficial when you turn 30 or when you are growing as a woman, when you get to a certain age and you start experiencing things. So these 5 things have helped me along the way. For number 1, take care of your health. Take care of your health now that you are young and able to do it. My health has been something, I've had a relatively healthy life. I don't fall sick easily. I don't even get allergies. It's actually this year I started experiencing a lot of allergies. My eyes just, itching and red and all that stuff. But I don't even get allergies, but I realized I was eating a lot of, carbs or dairy and stuff that is just not healthy for your body. So I started to change all that in my 30s, started to reduce my dairy, started to be more aware of what I'm eating, just reading up on the types of food there is out there so that I can maintain a healthy lifestyle, so that when I get older into my 50s and 60s, I can still, be able to be active and not experience pains and all that. Now, everyone always makes jokes on the internet about the pains you start feeling when you're 30. I mean, that's not a myth. It's real. After years of bad posture, from college, working, always bending down and all that, you develop all these pains. And in your 30s, you start to notice it even more. So now is the time when you're young and strong to start going for walks, doing yoga, stretching, making sure that your body is healthy for the work. I mean, I always talk with my mom about this, the fact that us people, millennials, not millennials. Anyway, just us in the world right now, we're going through a lot more than they had to go through, our parents had to go through, because were working and doing a lot of independent things that they didn't have to do. Most of the time, especially in my culture in Nigeria, people would stay in their family household until they got married or something. They didn't have to work or live on their own. But these days, people are raising families even on their own without parents or husband or different things like that. So it's a lot of stressors that we have in this day and age. So it's definitely very important to take care of your health. Start with what you eat. Start with working out. Not even serious working out. I'm not a gym person. I always say this. I don't really go to the gym per se, but I'm always outside trying to walk or do something outdoors. So do that. One of the things I learned, very helpful. Um, Another one is invest in your skin. Okay, this is an important one because, especially as a black woman, black people don't really talk about using sunscreen. A lot of women, I just hadn't heard it growing up. Maybe other people in other circles did, but in my circle, I wasn't hearing about sunscreen. But when I got into my 30s, I started to learn that even though we're dark skinned, we have melanin, you still need protection from the sun. Like this morning before I went out, even though it's not sunny and it's raining, I use my sunscreen on my face. There's different ones for your skin and your face. So just look into it. I have different suggestions. If you're interested, you can ask me. I'll let you know what I use. But use sunscreen on your face because you're getting older. I mean, your skin is going to start changing. It's not the same. When we're young, I look at my daughter's skin, I look at her hands. It's just so different because when you're a child, it's, different things going on in your body. So your skin is just like fresh and all that. I mean, my skin is still fresh, but just you have to take care of it now that you're getting into your 30s so you can enjoy even better skin. I mean, you always hear black don't crack and all this stuff. I mean, it's true. We do maintain, I guess, a firmer, younger looking skin, maybe because of melanin or whatever reason, genetics, and whatever reason. But helping it out with good products, exfoliating, just taking care of these things. I mean, I literally just learned these now. So I'm sure that if I didn't know, it's a lot of people out there in your 20s, even though you think you know, you just don't know. At least you don't know the right products. It's not just when they ask you what do you exfoliate with? Oh, apricot scrub. That was my answer to like everything back then. Apricot scrub, exfoliate your body. I mean your legs. It's just, I mean, this has nothing to do with immigration, but it's just what I've learned. So if you're just joining in and you're like, what's she talking about? I'm talking about 5 things I've learned in my 30s that have helped me to become the woman I am, and I'm still working on to become a better woman and just keep growing like that. All right, let's go on to number 3 thing I've learned in my 30s. Let go of bullshit rules. If you don't listen to anything I say today, just listen to this one. Let go of bullshit rules. This was like the biggest information I learned about 2 years ago. I read this book, Code of the Extraordinary Mind. You can ask me about it if you're interested in reading books. I mean, it was just mind blowing. It changed my whole life and the way I saw things about life. Because my phone is always dying. Anyway, it changed my whole mentality about life when I let go of some bullshit rules. Bullshit rules are rules. It's called B rules. It was created by Vishen, the author of that book. So B rules are rules that were created by people who lived before you, maybe your parents, your ancestors, your generations. And they continue to use those rules because it worked for them. But now you're in 2020 and these rules no longer serve you, but you continue to hold on to these rules. I mean, a easy example would be the whole, you have to be married as a woman, you have to be married at a certain age or something like that. That's the easiest one that applies to me, at least. For many years, from when I was 25, I started to have this idea that I had to be married or something. So I started chasing all these things that I didn't really want for myself, but my society said that's what needed to happen. I mean, a 25-year-old is super young. My sister's 25. I'm just like, you don't even know much at 25, but in my small mind, I was like, oh, I have to be married. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. I had done my master's at the time. I mean, in Nigerian households, I need some water. Well, anyway, in Nigerian households, once you have your degree, you move on to getting married, you move on to having your children. It's just like boom, boom, boom. These are the steps. But those are who said these things? These are just societal rules made by either your culture or just norms about women having to get married at certain times. I mean, maybe back then people used to die early and stuff, and so they needed to get married early at 13. I know one of my grandmothers was 13, excuse me, and the other one was 15 when they had my parents. So maybe that was what used to happen back then, but it's just not applicable right now. I mean, if you want to get married because you want to get married, that's for you, but it's not something that has to happen and then causes you a lot of anxiety and depression if it doesn't. So let go of bullshit rules. Another one is that you have to work hard to be successful. I mean, that's just a rule. There are people out here you see making money and just, running into something and they just make money like real quick in like one day. And you're like, people can say, oh, maybe it's juju or something, or maybe it's 419 or something like that. It's just unfathomable that somebody could make such amount of money in a short amount of time. But that's a rule. There's no rule about how to make money. Money is a tool that we should use for the things that we want. So if you are able to figure out what excites you, how you can make that money, and you do that, you're good. So there's no particular way things have to be. It's just figure out what works for you and do that. There's just no rules about these things. I mean, there are societal norms and things of decency that we have to follow even now, but bullshit rules are definitely rules that are holding you back. Rules that you have to go to college or you have to study a certain thing or be a certain way. If it's not serving you, if it's causing you anxiety and stress, just drop it. You're here to live and enjoy your existence, and if you're not doing that, then there's no point. That's one of the things I learned. You can ask me more about it. As you can see, I'm passionate about this particular topic. I like to talk to my clients, people who call me about their mindset. That's an additional thing I do. It's not part of law or anything, but it's very important. If you can fix your mindset about life, you can succeed in different areas, including your immigration. If you're applying for immigration papers and you already come with a mindset that, oh, they're not gonna accept me, or I don't have the required stuff, or it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna just see the negativity. That's gonna affect the outcome. Even with your lawyer, relationship with your lawyer is just gonna affect the outcome if you come in with that mindset. So I'll stop there for now. I'll probably talk about it later, about mindset and letting go of rules, but I'll move on to the next one. The next one is, this is the fourth one, spend as much time outdoors. Being outdoors for me, even though I work out outdoors, it's not just about exercising. Just sometimes the sun. I every morning I open up my back door, and get some sun, because I just know that receiving that vitamin D, that sun, helps me just have a good start to my day. I don't know how to explain it, but I know that there are elements outside that help us regulate our emotions, help you reduce anxiety and depression, and you just have a better outcome for your life. So I've started doing it more often, going outside, going for walks. I used to hang out at home like many of us, just watching Netflix all the time, just indoors all the time. So I changed that in my 30s. I started doing a lot of outdoor things. I haven't been hiking yet in Charlotte. I've been looking for a good hiking place, but for now I just go to all the greenways and stuff like that and do my walks there, and that has been working for me. The final thing I'm going to say that I've learned in my 30s is Everyone is fighting their battle, so be patient, listen, and forgive. Be patient, listen, and forgive. Everyone, yeah, that's something I'm just still working on even now. Be patient, listen, and forgive. Knowing that when you see people out here talking to you, let's say you go to the store and someone is just rude and just doing something that just makes you angry, it's a great practice, what I've learned in my 30s, to pause, watch, just observe the person, recognize that they are going through their own thing too, probably some mental health issues, depression, anxiety, whatever. You never know what has happened in their life just right before they met you. So instead of lashing out again and just saying, oh, you cut me in line, or you did this or you did that, just listen and be patient. Say, okay, whatever you need to do it, and just forgive and let it go, because letting it go and forgiving helps you personally, helps your own mental health. It has nothing to do with the person. So just observe everyone as an individual. Don't take everything personal. And if they do something that just offends you, be patient, listen, and forgive, and let it go. I think that following these 5 things, if you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, whatever age you are, will help you just have a better outcome of life. The whole purpose of being here is to have a great experience for yourself, first of all, and then bless other people that you come in contact with. Like I'm making this video, I'm blessing whoever is listening to it, my followers, whoever just comes across it on YouTube or anywhere. So those are the 5 things. I will write it down in the caption in case you missed it if I was talking too fast. Sometimes I think I'm talking too fast, I don't know. But I'll write it down in the caption and the description so you can see the 5 things I've learned in my 30s and how you can start doing these things if you haven't already started. And hopefully you'll see some changes in your life. I'm gonna charge my phone a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you guys about the marriage-based green card questions that I have, which is about taxes, finances, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and I'll see you all shortly.